CM Punk. There's a certain irony of me making this video today because either CM Punk is gonna have a shot at the WB title tonight at SummerSlam or tomorrow night at SummerSlam, but it seems to be more the same. I was watching, and I guess I've always sort of thought this, I've always sort of known this, because I grew up watching that too, watching his rise, so to speak. I grew up watching it, and I always sort of thought this way. But CM Punk was never the guy. It's There's certain irony to that. I mean, he opened the doors. He opened the doors for a lot of guys, a lot of bar wrestlers, most notably maybe Daniel Bryan, which is ironic in itself because the only reason which I've not spoken to WWE obviously about this, but I've heard that it was reported that the only reason Bryan got the main event is because Punk walked out. Now, whether that means Punk would have competed for the championship, I don't know. I doubt it, but I don't know. But CM Punk, quote, beat John Cena. I mean, you think about that. You look back at those matches. CM Punk never really beat him. I mean, one was by interference. Cena got distracted. One was by a fluke missed by the referee, which was Triple H at the time. Cena got his foot on the bottom rope, so he shouldn't won there, but they just counted it anyway. The third one, Night of Champions, which is actually my favorite of the. It's between that and the match they had on Raw in 2013 for the number one contendership. But Night of Champions, it was a double pinfall for as much as you would be that CM Punk took Cena over the top rope, but apparently Punk sold his one up. He didn't do a good bridge. Now he knows how to do it. He would know how to do a bridge, so they just did that. But the thing is too, they didn't have a match after that. Cena didn't with Cena tried to go after him again, but he gave up. He gave up a shot to Ryback, and then that whole debacle in Hell in a Cell happened. So, and even that WB title reign, outside of Cena and The Rock get on who would beat him, he didn't face anybody really notable. Yeah, he faced, quote, up and comers that they were gonna put, which they never did end up putting. The fake guys like Dolph Ziggler, John Morrison, Alberto Del Rio had already been a champion by that point anyway. But you can say all the good things you want about the pipe bomb, but I don't think it made him a star in the way that, well, in the way that people think it did or should have. He was always funny, and yeah, I can say I grew up with this. He was always funny, theatered in the second to match of the night behind John Cena, who wasn't even the champion, but he was always funny, theatered in the second to match. And yes, he was facing John Cena, or yes, he was facing Yater, The Rock, who would use the title to. Even, and I talk about SummerSlam and even his recent run with the World Heavyweight Championship, haven't he taken a backseat to he taken a backseat to biggest dog in. He taken a backseat to Roman Reigns. He taken a backseat to Cody Rhodes. I love Cody Rhodes and I love Roman Reigns. While on the subject, personally, I do not like Punk. We disagree a lot. Be it again, I think he's a poser. I think Mo Jeff to top posers anyway. But, so personally, I do not like CM Punk. And I could not bring myself to care about a single thing he did after the AEW walkout. The only reason I was rooting for him at WrestleMania this past year, WrestleMania 41 against Roman Reigns, was, or WrestleMania 42 against Roman Reigns. The only reason I was rooting for him then was I didn't want, and I feel like a lot of other people, I didn't want Roman to be champion. I didn't want another long reign for Roman Reigns. And now we don't know who's gonna beat Roman Reigns. I mean, each faces Seth Rollins, but let's be honest, Seth Rollins did not win that title. So even if Punk does win the WWE title, or retain the WWE title, I mean, he still won't be the guy. He'll still be firmly positioned where he was. He still won't be the guy. It's like Kofi Kingston. It's a weird paradox that WWE has sometimes when they put someone without really putting them. Now, to their credit, they did give Punk the title, give Punk the WWE title back in the day, but they fumbled it almost immediately. So I don't have high hopes for the up and coming generation that's just with the mindset that even with Triple H at the helm, with the mindset that WB has, I mean we see it even we're starting to see it even now with Jacob Fatu and Over Femi holding off and getting the titles out of SummerSlam, because he should have gotten the titles out tonight, but he gave it up for Brock Lesnar for some reason, even though the two nights of SummerSlam. So yeah, I don't have hope for this. I don't have hope for WB creatively. Now, would it be different if WB was just on their own and didn't have a board of directors? Could Vince McMahon sold WB off solely for the purpose of him weaving his way back in power? Well, maybe, probably. I think so. But we'll never know. But CM Punk and Ayada are favorites. They are good rest years are never gonna be the guy in WB. And yes, the machine gets behind you. I mean, we had Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart back in the day, but that was by necessity. That was because of Terror Trial, and even then, Vince still reverted back to Hogan. So it's not a yard of all favors are never gonna be the guy in WB. Which it's been reported too, a little aside. It's been reported too that Ilya Dragunov, I don't know how true this is, but it's been reported that Ilya Dragunov and Jordan Grace was the name. Going to AEW. What you done with WB? I am really looking forward to, if it is true, I'm really looking forward to seeing Ilya Dragunov in AEW. I can believe it, but it's still baffling that WB fumbled him so bad. If there is truth to that. Well, guys, that was something I just noticed, and I wanted to hop on and maybe talk about it because, yeah, the pipe bomb doesn't. I mean, even doing back then, it didn't seem to really change a whole lot. Change a whole lot of things. Maybe open the doors for some guys. I don't know, but that would happen. That probably would happen with NXT anyway, because things were getting more athletic and smaller, faster guy and everything. But regardless, guys, thank you for listening to my little rant, and I'll see you when I see ya.